was one thing in my business that I could keep and I had to get rid of everything else, I would keep my email list. My email list is seriously so valuable to me in so many different ways. And so in this video, I really wanted to share my top tips on how to start and also build your email list. So if you're brand new and starting your email list from scratch, this is the video that I wish I had when I was starting out with my email list. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Step one is to choose an email marketing platform. So I actually already have another video on this channel all about how I incorporate Flowdesk into my website with Showit. So Flowdesk is my email marketing service provider of choice, and I absolutely love it. It's so simple and user-friendly and pretty intuitive if you're pretty new to email marketing because it's a pretty simple platform. So there's actually a link for 50% off your first year below. I have personally been using Flowdesk for, I think it's been a good year and a half, almost 2 years now that we've been using it. And I love that it's very affordable, especially for those of you who are newer and just starting out, and how simple it is to use. Now, there is another free option called MailChimp, and I don't have a ton of experience with MailChimp, and to be completely honest, I think MailChimp's a little bit confusing and not as user-friendly, which is why I really recommend Flowdesk, and I believe they have a free trial as well. So if you go to that link, you're able to use Flowdesk. Obviously, there are other email marketing platforms that you can research and decide if you want to use. Some of those are like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit, but Flowdesk is really the one I recommend, especially if you're starting out, and it's pretty easy to switch email marketing platforms later in the future, so I prefer just to start simple. Step number two is to create a freebie. So there's really a lot of different terms for the word freebie, but freebie can mean a free download, a free template, a free class, a quiz, anything like that where you're offering something valuable in exchange for their email addresses. We need to make sure that we don't just have a sign up on our website or a link in our Instagram bio that says something like sign up for the weekly newsletter, because people are holding onto their email addresses more and more nowadays, and we need to give them an incentive or something we're giving them that's valuable in return for their email address. There's really a lot of different ways that you can do this. I already mentioned, like, you can create a free template, you can create like a PDF like ebook with a bunch of tips for something. It can even be like a wait list for something if they want to be the first to know about something you have coming up. And again, make it actually valuable and something that your audience would actually want, and something that is not just something you threw together really fast, but something that they're going to actually love once they actually join and get access to it. And share this freebie everywhere. I'm talking all over your website, all over your blog, a link in your Instagram bio, social media, basically anywhere that you're creating content or where your brand shows up online. Make sure you're sharing about this freebie, and you can do this by embedding it into different parts of your website, having it as a pop-up on your website. You can, again, like I mentioned, maybe you have something like a link tree in your Instagram bio, make it a button on your link tree, right? Make sure you're sharing about it as much as you possibly can to make sure you have as many people getting funneled in and signing up for your email list. And if it feels like you're sharing about it too much, you're probably sharing about it at just the right amount. So for example, if I'm sharing a YouTube video about tips for Instagram Reels, I'm making sure that I'm also sharing about one of my freebies, such as my 10 free Reels ideas or my free Reels class, and making sure that they have an opportunity and that they know and they're aware of opportunities to get something super valuable for me in return for signing up for my email list community. And another thing that I just want to point out here, if you're someone who's super new and like you don't even have like a website set up yet, Flowdesk actually allows you to create an opt-in page, like a website page for people to opt into your email list. So if that's all you start with and you just link it in other places where you're showing up online, I encourage you to do at least that and at least get started in building your email list. All right, and then step number 3 to building your email list is to start consistently sending emails to your audience. And this obviously sounds a lot simpler than it actually is, because it can be a lot of work, right, to create an email and send it out every single week. But I do recommend doing this because just like we want to make sure we're showing up consistently on Instagram or YouTube or other social media platforms, we want to make sure we're showing up consistently for those who've joined our email list and even treating them even better than people who haven't, because they're almost like in this part of this insider community for our brand, right? And there's someone who has said, yes, like I want to learn even more about learning from you or getting something valuable from you, potentially purchasing from you. And the reason why I also love email and focusing on it is because email was created to sell and social media was created to be social. So if email was created to sell, and if one of the things that we want to do in our brand or business is actually make money from it, right? Like at the end of the day, we want to love what we're doing, right? But we also want to make sure that it's profitable. And so one of the best ways that we can do that is by showing up consistently to serve our email list audience. And my recommendation is really to do at least once a week, even if it's just a roundup of the other content that you're sharing on other platforms. Like a lot of times we send out an email every Thursday sharing about a new YouTube video or some other type of content that we have going on in the Stephanie Case brand. So this can be a really easy way to take content you're already creating, whether it's even just sharing an Instagram post over to your email, maybe even taking a caption that you wrote, tweaking it and sending that out as your email that week, making sure that you're consistently showing up and you're serving people on your email list. And you can even make this easier as you have more emails written. You can turn these into a nurture sequence workflow that will automatically go out every single week when someone joins your list. So you're not having to automatically send that email out if that's something you want to do, just to automate some more things on the back end. So we actually do 2 emails per week, and we send out a nurture email every Monday that's automated. So when someone joins, they start from the top of this nurture sequence that has like 50 plus emails in it, and they're getting a new email every week on Monday. And then we also send out more of like a fresh content email every Thursday with whatever was new that week in the SK brand and what, new YouTube video or anything like that has come out. So some other ideas for what this weekly email could look like besides other content on other platforms. It could be more of like an insider email, like maybe it's tips that are exclusively for your email list, right? Or even the thought about giving exclusive sales or access to sign up for something before people who aren't on the email list. You could also include more, maybe heart-to-heart conversations or more, just whatever makes sense for your brand and how you want to be serving your audience and what makes sense for down the road when you are selling them something. Because again, email was created to sell. And I also want to just throw in a bonus tip right here to not be afraid to sell, okay? Don't be afraid to show up to your email list and sell, maybe more than you think. And even for me, in the past 6 months, I would say, we have been leaning even more into the email list and sending out emails to the people who are already interested in our brand instead of, really shying away from that. And I have seen some really awesome results every single time I send out another email, whether it's during a promotional period or whether it's, trying to, I guess it would be more promotional periods, launches, sales, things like that. The more I have leaned into my email list, the more results that I have seen. And I think because people, you think about you when you sign up for an email list, you're expecting to get sold to. You're expecting to get to know about the upcoming sales for that business or that brand. And so I just really want to encourage you, if you're doing a good job nurturing your email list and they're getting valuable content from you in between those promotions, don't be afraid to show up and email quite a bit when you are having those promotions. And so I hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions about email marketing that you want us to dive into in the future on this channel, be sure to drop a comment below, and we would love to create more content on that and share more about that. And as always, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Those 2 things truly do help to push these videos out to more people, for more people to see our content and to hopefully follow along. So we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. And until then, have an awesome week. Bye guys.